Hey, I Run here, and welcome back for another Nether Noob Tip tutorial. So, on one of my last Nether Noob tips on power leveling and package runs, I got a request from, and I hope I pronounced this right, Hayne Lordell, and he had pretty much thanked me for the package run tutorial and how well he did. But he said, you should do a weapons tips next video. So I've been working on that. The problem is ever since some of the most recent patches in Nether, it's kind of hard to get certain weapons. So I've decided to break the tutorial up into two different weapons tips tutorial. This one today is going to be on melee weapons. So for the first part of it, we're going to actually go into our global inventory, because this is going to be the best way to show you. Now you can see that right here I'm holding a katana. Now katana is the best weapon you can be guaranteed to get, the best melee weapon. It does 450 damage, and but if we go over here to the store and go to the weapons section, you'll see that the katana also costs 217 in-game dollars. Now, when I first started playing Nether, it was only 65 in-game dollars, and so that made it relatively easy for a new player to get one by just running a package run. And you can still get it by, if you follow my new tip number 3 on package runs, you can still get one fairly easily, but that is what I would recommend that you get to as quickly as possible. When you consider the HP of different Nether types, and the easiest pretty much being the crawler. Well, actually, the one that runs around, I don't remember its name, but just kind of moans it's the easiest. But the crawler has about 2,500 HP, and so it takes at least 6 swipes to kill it with katana. Now, as opposed to your butter knife in game, that's only 200 points of damage. You can see that that's going to take you incredibly longer to kill it with that. So that's the katana, and here's the different prices. So we're going to go in the bottom price here is the crowbar, which you can actually find these pretty much in game quite a bit. The crowbar does 290, so it's somewhat better than a butter knife, and will do you pretty good against your low level Nether, and not bad at all. The next one up price wise is the baseball bat, but you can see it costs you $15, so it costs $2 more, and it's still only doing the same amount of damage. So but both the baseball bat and the crowbar, you can still find them pretty often in game. Now, this is as of July 21st, 2014, so who knows what the next changes will bring. The next one up is your Grim Reaper, and the Grim Reaper does 330 points of damage. Cost you $25. Then from there we go up to the East Sword, and the East Sword will do 330 points of damage as well. So you pay $2 more, maybe it looks a little bit cooler, I'm not sure, but damage wise it's doing the same amount just about. So so we go from there, and we have, for 51 in-game dollars, we have the Battle Axe. And you'll see that now does 375 points of damage. So, for example, that's pretty close to about, well, for a crawler, if you're figuring 2,500 hit points, if it's fresh, then you're talking about still about 6 hits, I guess. With a player, though, say you're a brand new player and you only have 1,000 hit points, you're talking about 3 hits and you're gone. Alright, so from there you have the Bolo Sword, which again is only 375 points of damage. Costs you a little bit more, might look a little bit cooler, who knows. And but as far as hit points, you're doing about the same thing. Then we go up to the machete. The machete is doing 375 for $73. So you're not really getting, between the battle axe, the bolo sword, and the machete, you're paying a little bit more for each one, although I still find that you can find any of these in-game fairly easily if you're just doing some searching and looting. And then, of course, like I said, the katana, your melee weapon, your premier melee weapon that you can purchase through the store, 450 damage, and within a little bit over 3 strokes, you can have a base player killed, and 6 strokes for a crawler or something. So you just do a little bit more damage, and if something's already hurt, then obviously you can kill it a little bit easier. So one thing I'm going to do real quick, just so you can see something here. So I don't have it here. This is my current character settings. But if you're a new player and you're doing a lot with melee, then this level 1 perk, as you can see here, you get the ability to block. Now, I've heard recently that the blocking's not working very well since the most recent patch, but I'm sure they'll get it fixed, and that's one of the benefits. But if you're a new player, and again, remember, these tips are for new players. If you're a more advanced player, you're probably running around. If you played for a while, you're running around with some sort of a weapon. But the level 4 skill focus unlocks a charge attack. So if you hold down the left click with the melee weapon, you basically just hold down your left click and you basically charge up the weapon. And by doing that, it does, I forget if it's 25% more damage. So for example, with the katana, if you charge it up, then you're probably going to be doing closer to 600 hit points of damage. So that's one thing that you'll want to be aware of. I don't typically do this too well because for the most part, unless you're just inundated by Nether, you can usually, if you're doing them one-on-one, you can usually defeat them pretty easily. And if I'm going up against a mantis that's flying in the air that can stay away from me, I'm probably just going to shoot them and risk being heard. But the advantage of the melee weapons, if you're out there, you're not going to normally alert other players that you're in the area as you would with shooting. So that would be one of the advantages. So I have collected some things over here, and I want to go ahead and pull them out. So we have a shovel. Let me go ahead and sell these. We have a shovel. We have a bone spur melee weapon. And we have a skull cleaver. We also have a large shield, which is not really a melee weapon, but I'm going to cover it here. And we have a small shield. So I think that's all the melee weapons. I'm going to go ahead and put my katana up for now. And, well, I'll just show you this here real quick. So with the shovel, you can find those occasionally, and it can do 220 points of damage. So it's really doesn't do a whole lot more than a butter knife, and does a lot less than even your basic one here, the crowbar, that does 290. So, something to keep in mind. But if you find it, you could, and all you had was a butter knife, you could use that. The bone spur weapon will do 390 damage. So it's close to being, it's not as good as a katana, but it's better than others. But the only way you can make this is by crafting this with the cull, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. The other one here is a skull cleaver, which can be crafted as well, or found. These can be found in game occasionally. I don't know how often they spawn, but the skull cleaver does 530 points of damage. So it's by far the strongest melee weapon. But again, the only way you can get it is if you actually, you find it in game or you craft it. So you also have a large shield. Now, a large shield, if you've played Call of Duty or something like that, is similar to a riot shield. You can use it to hit other players. I don't really know how much damage it does. I don't have anybody to test it out here with, but let me just kind of show you. I'll just put it on, and if I scroll over to it, I can do that, and I can't fire, but if you right click, you would be able to do that. And also it automatically well, I guess it doesn't automatically make you squat. So and then the same thing with your small shield. Again, let's just kind of swap those out, give you a look at it. It's got little spikes on the front here. You can hold it up if you right click your mouse button like you would fire, and I believe if you left click you can hit with it. So, but again, not knowing what kind of damage it does. So let's put these back. We'll go ahead and I'll equip that for now. I don't know, there seems like there's some people here, and I don't know if this place is going to go down. So I'm going to just try to hop up here real quick. This way I'm kind of out of the way, and hopefully nobody sees me. And I can show you guys some things in peace, hopefully. So, in order to craft some of these items, so if you ever go to the Order of the Cull, there's a lot of things. If you gather different nether parts, you can get some items. Like if you're on a weapon, this is a jawbone that comes from, I forget the name of the nether, but it's the one that shoots out the spikes. I'll look it up prior to posting this video, and I'll put the name up in the just up above here. But if you gather 6 of them, you can trade them in for a Lopez gun. So that's one thing. But let's go down here. So as far as the melee weapons, so here's the bone spur. You can get this by crafting 2 nether bones, I believe that's the Reaper jaw, 1 Reaper jaw, 4 nether claws, and 2 nether skins. So I'll double check those, but I believe that's what they are. It would be really nice if Nether actually had little word tips in here so you would know exactly, because it's hard enough, and sometimes it's even hard to know what that is. So that's a bone spur. You can do a skull cleaver. A skull cleaver takes 2 crawler spines, 2 nether bones, 4 nether claws, and 3 mantis membranes. So you have to kill the mantis for this as well. But you know, if you can collect those, that's a really nice weapon. You go down here. This is the one I'm going to call. It's the large shield. It's the riot shield. You need 2 of the Watcher eyes, 2 golem skulls, and 4 shrieker tongues. And to get the small shield, you need 2 nether skin, 2 nether potions, and 5 nether bones, which is fairly easy to come by. You can pretty much get most of those by just killing crawlers. So I think that covers it for this tutorial. I hope that's been helpful. This way you'll know what maybe to go after in game, different items to collect. Check out the Order of the Cull. That's good. And so basically you're either finding them in game, you're crafting them from nether parts from the Order of the Cull, or you're buying them in the weapon shop. And you know, like I said, I'd always just go for the katana, do a package run, get you a katana, even if you're you know, just running back and forth package runs to get your money up, then you're better off with that than even running around with the butter knife, just in case you run into some nether. And if you watch my Nether Noob Tip tutorial on package runs, which I will post up over here, I'll give you a link up over here. you'll be able to see how to potentially and safely run and gather money pretty quickly. Alright, so until next time, this is iRun signing out, and we will see you guys next time. Oh, real quick, a shout out to my buddies that have helped me gather the stuff. EduGun has been real helpful, and his buddy NK. I'm going to miss everybody's name. I'll probably put a list. Of course, my buddy Fleshbox. If you haven't watched his Nether videos, do that as well. He's helped me from the very beginning. I've had several help from different people. I had a guy named Deception that helped me when I first started out. Special Brownies. And of course, I can't forget my buddy Tamik. He has helped me out tremendously as well. I have a feeling I'm going to leave out somebody, so if I do, I'm sorry. But again, thanks to Hayne Lordell for suggesting this new tip tutorial, and we will see you next time. This is iRun signing out.